Yeah, so we're going to talk about the myth that running is bad for your knees. So there was a meta-analysis done, which is a collection of a whole bunch of studies, and they kind of mathematically take the subjects from each study and put it into one giant study, looking at this question, like, is running bad for your knees? And so they included 17 studies in this actual meta-analysis. And what they found was that in controls, basically people who don't run or are pretty much sedentary, about 10.5% of them develop knee arthritis in this group of people. With highly competitive runners, this is runners that compete in international events, have elite running times, about 13.5% of them had knee arthritis. So a little bit higher than your average control group, but still not very high. In recreational runners, which is the vast majority of us, only 3.5% actually develop knee osteoarthritis, which is a pretty incredibly low thing because that just happens, like, you get these degenerative changes regardless as you age. So 3.5 versus 10%, pretty solid. They also found that the runners, the recreational runners, had a lower incidence of hip osteoarthritis as well. So basically this idea that running is bad for your knees doesn't really pan out. It helps to strengthen your knees. It helps to increase the tissue capacity. The constant compression and release helps nutrients flow in and out of your knees because they're not really well vascularized inside the actual joint. And so running can be pretty good as long as you're apparently not a super competitive runner. And even if you are, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have more knee pain. It just means you might be putting a little more stress through your knees and you might have some quicker degenerative changes compared to a normal population.